everybody, it's Laura and I hope you're all doing well. So today I thought I'd talk about salt. There is so much salt out there. Which salt to purchase, which salt's healthier, which salt is right for you. So if you're interested, then keep watching. So in this video, I'm going to get into 4 different types of salt. So I'm going to talk about table salt, I'm going to talk about sea salt, I'm going to talk about kosher salt, and I'm going to talk about gourmet salts. And then after I talk about the 4 different salts, then I'll get more into which ones I recommend. So first, let's talk about table salt. So table salt is more than likely comes from rock salt or evaporated seawater. And it is a good source of iodine, which is a mineral that is important for thyroid function. And it is also the cheapest. So next is kosher salt. So obviously it's kosher. So if you're kosher, then kosher salt would be a good option. Also, the salt molecules are bigger in kosher salt versus table salt. And you can also actually have a more precise measurement with the kosher salt because the molecules aren't perfect and so they're uneven. So if you're a baker, then kosher salt's a good option. So next is sea salt, and so it's obviously from the sea. And just like kosher salt, the salt molecules are bigger than table salt. And the whole reason that this is good is because it doesn't take as much salt from a larger molecule to create the flavor. And so the hope is that if you're buying sea salt, if you're purchasing kosher salt over table salt, then yes, you're not getting the iodine that you would from the table salt, but you're not using as much salt as you would with the table salt. So next is gourmet salt. So you might have seen like the pink Himalayan salt, the Celtic sea salt. And the benefits of these are that they're unrefined, so they haven't been processed like the table salt, the sea salt, and the kosher salt. So they're in their more natural state. So if you're someone who's trying to stay away from a lot of processed items, then your gourmet salts may be the way to go. However, they are more expensive. In addition to being unrefined, they also contain trace minerals because they haven't been processed, so they retain some of their minerals. However, in order to get the benefits of these minerals, you'd have to be consuming a lot of salt, and it's not worth it. So if you're wanting to choose more of the gourmet salts, then do it because it's not as processed as the other ones. All in all, though, I wouldn't be too concerned about specifically which salt you're consuming. I mean, ideally, you would consume the gourmet salts or the sea salts because hopefully they would decrease the amount of salt you're adding to your food. But when it's all said and done, that's not where we're getting the majority of our salt. The majority of our salt doesn't come from what we add once we get our food. The majority comes from the hidden salt that's in the foods that we consume when we eat out, and that's hidden in the processed and prepackaged foods. And so ideally your goal should be less focused on which salt is healthiest and focus more on decreasing all of the processed and refined junk that as a society we're consuming. So I hope this video helped y'all out. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my website, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.